Hi everyone, it's me as usual. Um, so I have something to share, and it's something that happened to me recently. I've shared it with a few people, but I thought this would be the best place to share it, um, because it reaches a wider audience. So I'll not take too much of your time because I know everyone is doing the Vine thing, and it takes like 6 seconds or whatnot. So I'll try and make sure it's quite short. Okay. Recently, my older brother and I got involved in a car accident. That was on the 11th of November. We were traveling to Coventry. It was a Monday morning. We had a fashion show to go to in the university, and he had asked me to drive. Bearing in mind, I'd only got my driver's license a month ago after 4 years of trying, but only had it a month ago. And I mean, I'd driven in the rain or before. Um, I'd driven on the motorway a few times, so I was quite cool that I didn't mind. But before setting off, we prayed, and my mum was like, "Yeah, be careful, drive safely." So we were like halfway to Coventry, and we had just left part of the M1, and we were going to rejoin it again because I think in the middle people can go to wherever they need to go to, like I don't know whether there's a town over there or somewhere, but anyway, we were going to rejoin the M1. And I remember as we were going, there was this bend on the road that we had to go um to join the M1 again. So it was up a hill ish. So as we were going, my left tire kept hitting the curb on the side. So, trying to straighten it because of the rain and everything on the road, it was slippery and my car just skidded straight to the right side. So I'm like on the right side and I look up and I see this huge truck. Now, my brother says the truck was just coming around the bend, but I think in my panic, I saw the truck. Like, them huge articulated trucks, yeah, was coming straight at me. So then I turn my wheel to the left and my car goes skidding off into the bushes just before it hits a barrier, and it missed the light pole by that much, because if I had reversed my car, the side of the side mirror would have broken off more or less. So it just lodged itself in between the bushes and the branches, just sort of locked the car before it could hit the wooden barrier. And to be fair, I don't think there was anything outside the, like after the barrier. I didn't see any land, I didn't see anything, but I may have been too panicked to recognize what was going on. But all I could remember thinking was, wow, wow, like I could, I could have been gone. I could have died. I mean, my brother and I could have, and it was. I'm just grateful to God. I mean, a guy came and he was helping us. He helped me reverse, and the car started smoking. So then he said, he's gonna check the liquid, the fluids and stuff, and he said it was fine, but he would advise us to go back to London. But we're halfway, so my brother and I decided to like continue to Coventry. We just prayed about it, and literally I had 5 minutes to gather myself and continue. But by God's grace, I mean, we went to Coventry, we did the show, we came back safe and sound, everything was fine. But I remember as my brother and I were driving, we decided not to tell our mom because my mom is very protective, and we were scared that she wouldn't allow me to drive for a while again. And before I said okay, but then I just thought about it and I was like, why? Why would I withhold this testimony? Like, if anything, it shouldn't be because of fear that will cause me to withhold a testimony like this, because literally my life has been saved. And I kept thinking, did my life flash before my eyes? Like, but it's almost like I was waiting for a shock to set in, and it did not set in. And I felt all these things, like there were 3 times my car could have been spoiled. There was the hitting of the curb on the side, there was the skidding to the right hand side with the truck coming, and then there was the skidding all the way to the left before it hit the barrier and missing a light pole by that much. And for me, I am just grateful. I am grateful, and it's just made me look at life so differently. Like, all the trivial things I used to worry about, that's in the past. Like, I don't have time to waste anymore when it comes to the purpose God has placed for me. It's almost like I'm so desperate now to make sure that I'm in the right place at the right time, making myself available for whatever God has set for me, because we do not have time to waste. Life here is only temporary. We don't have any time whatsoever to waste around and just say, this is a test run. Life is not a test run, because after this, we're going to be answering things to God and saying, Father, this and this and this is what I did with a purpose, or this and this and this is what I did not do with a purpose. And I don't want to be one of those that, like, in the line thinking, trying to rack my brains about the things I did and I didn't do because I didn't use my time properly. So it was just a word of encouragement that I know sometimes it might be difficult to follow through with your purpose. Sometimes it seems like all the challenges are coming at you like so hard. And I just wanted to say, you know, purpose is like a pregnancy. The purpose is like pregnancy. There's the time of conception, and that's the time you realize what your purpose is. Or that's a time of finding out what your purpose is. And once you find it, sometimes there's the waiting period. And in terms of your purpose, that is sort of the time that you learn about what your purpose is and the things that you have to do, and start putting things in place. Like a pregnant woman, while she's in her gestation period, those 9 months, she's buying clothes, she's preparing herself, she is changing the clothes she wears, and getting a room ready for the baby to sleep in when he's born, and all sorts of things. A pregnant woman does not remain the same. And it's the same for us. Once we recognize the purpose that Christ has given us here on earth, it's time for us to study, gain knowledge, gain skill, gain understanding, communicate with Him. Make sure we're in constant communication so we can hear clearly when we need to do what we need to do. And then finally, we have the delivery part. And that is sometimes the most trying bit, because that's where you have to put your last bit of effort. You have to push, and that's where the biggest struggle is. But the thing about delivery is that if the mother decides not to push, she and the baby can die, or will die actually, if she refuses to push. And that's the same for our purpose. If we do not push, that last bit, what we're supposed to come through or overcome whatever we're going through, that thing can literally destroy us. And like Miles Monroe says, it's the grave is the where the biggest resources, that's where potential lies. And you don't want to go to the grave and not discover what you were made here for. So this is for anyone going through any circumstance, anybody going through challenges, anybody searching for God. I really do encourage you to pursue and search for Him. If people are deciding whether this God is real, I can assure you, one of the things that I discovered, or got revealed to me, was in that accident, was the fact that God is real, the fact that Jesus is the only way. Like, I had so many questions before that. And trust me, I love God. I love Jesus. Like, I'm always the first to put up my hand when I need to do something. But I had a lot of questions. But after that accident, it's almost like I understood why I was here. I understood that God is the only way. I understood Jesus is the only way. And it's a deep conviction in my heart that I know. And now that I know, I am so desperate to start learning, and start learning things about God, start learning things about my purpose. I want to do social work. So now this has been almost been like, oh my God, now is the time. I don't have time anymore. And the most profound thing is that before the accident, I had applied for so many jobs for 6 months. I had applied for so many jobs and I had only one interview. And they liked me in that interview, that they said they were gonna put my name down for another position in another place. And it had been like what, a month since they had told me that, and still nothing from the managers. After that accident happened, what, it was a Monday. On that Wednesday, they sent me an email for an interview. And after the interview, I got the job. And it just sort of like everything has come together. Things that I have been praying about, things that I have sowed into, like people's lives. Sometimes I used to sit down and think, wow, what about my life? Like, I'm sowing into so and so's life. I am, helping them out when I can. And I love to do that. But I used to sit down and think, what about me? And it's almost that I get so happy now that I have this confirmation that God has not forgotten me, and He definitely has not forgotten you. And I just want you to be encouraged. I just want you to push that little bit more you need to push, and to seek God. And this is literally my testimony that I have to give. I drive now. After 4 years, I drive, and in my house, I'm the only person that drives in my house. Like, that's a huge testimony. Driving is a huge testimony in my house. And I'm just lost for words, and I'm so grateful. Last year, when I was turning 23, I was telling people I don't want to turn 23, I'm still 16. Like, I was so scared because, again, I was thinking, what has my life come to? Like, I have so many awesome friends who have businesses, who are like going for their purpose. They sing, they own companies, they write books, I mean, I have too many awesome friends. And I was just thinking, what about me? I'm 23. This year, 24, I'm not the same that I used to be back then. I am not, I am, that's why I wanted a really low key birthday. Like, I'm just so grateful for the things that God has done for me. And I really just wanted to count my blessings, like, today. Count everything that God had. Just say, God, I am grateful. I am grateful. I am so grateful for the friends that I have made over the last 3 years, in uni, out of uni. Like, you guys inspire me, you push me, you encourage me. And I just want to say a massive, massive, massive thank you to everyone who has been there for me. Even if you forgot my birthday today, don't worry about it. Because I know that even though you didn't say anything today, throughout the year you have been there for me. It doesn't take a day to tell me that I am special before I know. It's what you have done for me throughout the years that confirms that to me. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. And really, if you find this encouraging, send it to somebody. Send it to um, someone who might need it, someone who is struggling. And yeah, so yeah, I'll let everyone go to bed. All right, God bless. Bye.